your life.
Great. Hello, everyone. We finally figured this out. It took us a while. I'm Therese Boyle Niego. I'm going to be on my front porch for only 2 minutes because it's going to be a little loud out here. I'm on my porch for a very good reason. But before I start going into that reason, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with Catholic Volleyball Camp. We started the Catholic Sports Volleyball Camp last year, and it was phenomenal. We had a great experience. Obviously, this year is a little different as we're all at home and things are obviously going virtual. So we're excited about that too, because we will be in touch with you here and there, and we're always here for you. So my bio quickly is I played collegiate volleyball, won the national championship my senior year, and then I went on to play in the first ever Women's Pro League for 3 years, and I also coached collegiately at Wisconsin and Loyola University. And currently I run the elite volleyball program, offering camps and clinics. So we're on my front porch quickly for one reason, and that would be right here. So Grace, my daughter's going to turn the camera. We're going to talk about the month of May. There's so many great things happening in the month of May. There's graduation, Memorial Day, honoring all those that served our country, Mother's Day, and it's also the month of Mary, the Blessed Mother of Christ. So I have a good story. My beautiful statue here was in front of my house, in front of the porch, and it tipped over a couple weeks ago. So we brought it up here on my porch, and we were able to glue it together, and it reminded me of the Broken Mary. I'm sure many people have seen that amazing story about the Broken Mary. And it ended up that she stayed here since then. And I noticed, wow, I prefer her here. So I thought it happened for a reason. I come out my front door now of my house, and I'm able to see Mary all the time. She is my go-to. She's always there for us, and I pray for her during the good times and the bad times, along with Jesus Christ. So we're going to start volleyball in a minute, but before we do, in honor of Mary, let's together say a Hail Mary. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now at the hour of our death. Amen. Now we're going to move to my backyard quickly, and we're going to work on some volleyball skills. So let's move on over here, Grace. This is my daughter, Charlie, here. She's going to help out as well. My daughter, Grace, is filming. This is Charlie. She plays at University of Notre Dame. So we're going to go through a couple drills. I'm going to explain a few things first, and then Charlie's going to demonstrate. So the first thing is we're going to work on first contact. In volleyball, the first contact is extremely important. In first contact, you're usually serving or you're receiving the serve and passing. So we're going to talk a little bit about the platform for passing first. So I normally talk to people, and I teach like this. I say it's like praying. So when I take my hands, I put them together, and as you can see, my thumbs and the base of my hands are together and they're even. And all I do is scoop one hand below the other. So again, praying, scoop one hand below the other, doesn't matter which one. Turn the thumbs down, and that will lock in your elbows. So we're looking for that nice grip, and here's your platform, slightly above your wrist. That's where we're going to make contact with the ball. Okay, pray, thumbs together, even, base of the hands, lock it in. Okay, so the first drill we're going to work on is something that we're going to do at home because we are homebound, and I believe that this is what separated me as a player from others because I practice at home all the time. I would practice at nighttime under the street light. I would practice against the wall, and I would always be rallying with my sisters. And it does give you the extra edge, and it's fun. It's fun to be home practicing, whether you're on the cement, on the grass, or on the beach. So those are things I would highly suggest doing during these times. Okay, so the first drill we're going to work on, okay, is Charlie against the wall. We're going to move the camera here a little bit more, Grace, so you can see. So you see on the wall here, I've got two papers here, and those are targets. So if you have younger kids, I would make the targets really big because what she's going to try to do is hit the targets when she's passing. Okay, so we're working on that ready position, bending our knees. Okay, we got those thumbs down, and we're getting ready to pass. So we're going to work on angling. That's really big in volleyball now. So instead of turning to where we want to pass the ball, we're actually going to angle Charlie's going to angle her platform, follow through, and try to hit the targets. So let's watch her do a few of them real quick here. Hopefully it's not too bright out here. Hope you guys can see her. Okay, ready position, bend the knees, elbows straight, contact above the wrist. So she's trying to hit the targets. Okay, good. Good. You can stop. Okay, so what you're noticing is not only is she making contact above her wrist and keeping those elbows straight, but what's really important is that she's tracking the ball. So a lot of times players track the ball too late. So it's really good to practice this at home because it's helping with your tracking and your hand-eye coordination. So what do we mean by tracking? What we mean is we want you to see what is happening right as it's happening. So if a server is serving the ball, okay, right away the server serves the ball, you're starting to move your feet in a position where your body's going to be behind the ball. You have space between your body and your arms. Okay, this gives me a lot of flexibility to go midline, this is called midline, or to angle. And track, angle, follow through. Okay, so that's really a great drill. The other drill is just her passing straight up to herself. Now, this is where her shoulders are going to come back. Her posture changes. Okay, and you're just going to work on passing to yourself. And every time you do it, say mine. Mine. Yeah, you want to start talking. You want to start saying mine. Because when you start doing that early on, it becomes contagious. That's something you're going to do when you go back to your team. I can't hear you. Mine. Okay, and as you notice, she keeps her platform together on this because the ball's close to her. She keeps it together. She doesn't bend her elbows. The thumbs are down. She's making contact above her wrist, and she's moving her feet to the ball. So you want to move your feet, get there, stop, balance, and pass. And I just want to let the adults know, this just isn't for kids. I have a lot of adults that are reaching out that want to learn how to play the game of volleyball. So adults, these are drills that you can do at home as well with your kids. Okay, the next drill is a really good tracking drill, an angling drill. So I usually break things down. We don't have that much time to break it down today, but I usually break it down. So I'm going to give Troy some keywords, and then I'm going to toss her some balls, and she's going to work with a hula hoop now on tracking and angling. And parents, you could do this at home with a hula hoop. The kids are smaller. You might want to use a bigger hula hoop. And if they're more advanced, you can use a smaller hoop. This one's a smaller hula hoop. So Grace is going to turn that camera. You get a good view of Charlie. So you can back up Charlie a little more. So ready position. When you're ready position, your feet are wider than shoulder width. She's going to bend her knees. Her knees are in front of her toes. Her shoulders are in front of her knees. Okay, so as you can see, she's grabbing the hula hoop. If you grab the middle of the hula hoop, you want to slide down just a little bit. And you're going to keep your wrists straight. You don't want to bend your wrists to catch the balls. Keep the wrist straight. She's going to track the ball coming out of my hand, make a move shortly after I release that ball. And we're going to try to get that ball. She's going to try to get that ball through the hula hoop and then freeze. Ready? And go. Hold it. Okay, let's freeze again when you do it. Ready? Ready position, shuffle, freeze. So do you see here? This is what we're working on. We're really working on tracking. And we're seeing this angle here. Grace is trying to get a little closer in. We're really working on angling those shoulders. The platform's the exact same platform. We're just angling those shoulders and following through to where we want that ball to go. Okay, do a couple more. We can see a few more. Ready position. Those are our key words. Shuffle. Okay, now I'm going to make her move a little bit more. As they progress, you keep it simple at first. Now we want them to start moving their feet. That's more game like moving your feet. Ready position. I'm going to make her move. Shuffle. Hold it. Good. Awesome. So we'll do a few of those. After you do those, we're not going to work on this right now, but you actually want a live pass. You want to toss the ball to her, have her pass the ball back to you, and you're the target. And you're going to yell right here. Okay? One thing of volleyball that I've noticed over the years is a lot of the kids have trouble going in the direction of their non-dominant hand. So I always like to push people out of their comfort zone. So a lot of them are, if they're right here, they're going to be comfortable moving to their right. If I like to move them to their left. So I would push the kids to move to their left, whether they're passing or playing defense. Another drill I love to do at home is just take a volleyball and work on the right and left hand. Once again, we talk about that non-dominant hand. So there's just little things that you could do. I could demonstrate this one. There's a few things I could still do at my age. One of them would be this. I just like to take the top of my hand like a pancake on defense and go right to left. I have a really firm hand. I'm tracking. I'm moving. Get there, stop, and pancake it. If it's really far away, I can do it on the run. The second one is scooping. Scooping the right, left, left. It's got like a backspin on the ball. The third one would be like a fist motion, almost or similar to passing or underhand serving. Right, left. And I could feel already, I haven't been doing this, I haven't done this for a while. I could already feel I'm a little awkward with my left side of my body because it's weaker. I don't use it as much. So again, Use that left side if you're right-handed. A little bit more. Push yourself to get out of that comfort zone. Right, left, left. It's using one hand. These are great drills to do once you get at home. Get a feel for the right and left hand. Awesome. Okay, so that's a little bit with the first contact. Now, next time we get together, I actually have a good friend that lives nearby that has a sport court. So I'd like to go on that sport court and show you some drills that are more game-like. But these are great drills just to do at home. Grabbing that ball, getting some reps in, but make sure when you're doing those reps, and all these other coaches will tell you this, be really mindful of the quality of the mechanics. So a lot of kids will come to me and say, oh, I did, 1,000 passes. I'm like, that's awesome. I love that you're loving volleyball in your backyard. You might have done 1,000 passes, but I'd rather you do 100 right than 1,000 wrong. So I always tell the kids to go back to the basics, the mechanics, the things that you learned. And I just gave you a couple little things to think about today and to build on those. And then be creative. If you don't have a brick wall, you can use your garage. When you use your garage, I really like that because you can't see the ball when it goes up on the roof. It's on that angle, and it comes to you pretty fast. So tracking coming off the roof is going to be a little harder because you can't see the ball the whole time. Another one that you could do is use the backboard of the basketball hoop. You could pass against that. That's a little higher up. So your posture might change where you're a little higher up, and that's fine too. Another one that people are doing lately, I've seen this, is on when you're playing bean bags, okay, obviously the wooden thing you're throwing the bean bag into is on an angle. So some people are throwing it up, it's bouncing up the bean bag, and they're getting there and they're passing up, or they're trying to pass it back towards the bean bag holder, whatever you would call that. Okay, so those are some really great passing drills. Also next time, we're going to be working on using our hands with first contact because obviously you can use your hands on the first contact. Okay, so last thing, serving. We were hoping to do some serving today. We're not going to have a lot of time, especially because I got on late. We were having trouble getting online. But one thing I want you to do every day, and if it's not every day, maybe a couple times a week, is just go outside and work on your arm swing. So Charlie and I are just going to work on partnering up. Smaller kids should use a handball or like a dodgeball. This would be too big and it kind of weighs their elbow down. So, and even a tennis ball would work. So we have bigger hands. We could do it with a volleyball. And what we're really working on are a couple different things. A lot of the kids are struggling with their arm swings because they're not outside playing as much. So this will help them tremendously. All right, so let's have Charlie move a little closer this way so they can see you. If you don't have a partner, again, the wall is your friend. You can use the wall. So let's come on closer so they can see your arm. Okay, arm swing training. I want you right here with your right arm. Okay, put your right arm up like a bow and arrow. If you can see her, I hope it's a good view. Okay, so you can see here. It's like a bow and arrow here, and she's right-handed, so her left foot's out front. Okay, you want to show her the feet real quick. Okay, see her feet. She's balanced. Her left foot's in front, and look what you see here. The throwing motion. You want to have that right shoulder pulled back, and the left shoulder's in front. So you see this with her core. Again, that bow and arrow, she's opened up. Okay, I want you to do this without a ball first, and I actually want you to do it looking into a mirror or somebody videotaping you to see if you're, number one, dropping your elbow, which you don't want to do, or just having a hard time rotating your elbow. So it looks like this in slow motion. I help kids do this a lot. Take a step with your left foot, and as she's doing that, look at the elbow, how it drives. You rotate, it drives forward, and then you release the ball. And a lot of kids have a hard time bringing that elbow forward. So sometimes I even break it down starting here to here, and I stop. Always want to break it down first. Here, here, stop. And you can see the elbow is higher than your shoulder. Okay, let's try it again. Up, bow and arrow, go. Step and rotate. That's it. That's slow motion, okay? And then as they get more comfortable, we're going to really pick up the speed with that arm swing. We want kids to have a really fast arm swing. That'll help tremendously. If you have a good arm swing, you're going to end up being a great overhand server and eventually a really good hitter. Okay, so we're just going to throw now. It's back and forth. If you get the camera on Charlie, can you grab a ball right there? Thanks. Can you see her? Okay. Ready position, get that elbow up. Step and throw to me. Good. Good. You don't have to worry about me, right? Just worry about Charlie. Step, throw. Okay. Stop, throw. When you release the ball, you want to release the ball when it gets in front of you. And you can see the ball in front of you. A lot of the kids release the ball too early. They release it here at this point. Okay, so you want to get that ball. So rotate, and release the ball when it's out in front of you at its highest point. Okay, great. And the last thing you want to look at is your left arm. What does she do with her non-dominant arm? That's really important. A lot of kids just drop the arm. We're going to use that. It's a guide. So when she puts up that left arm, this is basically, okay, if you're spiking too, this is basically where you want the center to set the ball in front of your right shoulder. She's going to use that left arm, and now she's going to work on that rotation with her torso and her arm. And that left arm, using that as well. Go, step, throw, step. Step, throw. Okay, awesome. Okay, just looking at the time here. It's 3:50. Okay, so the best servers are the servers that can serve a ball in a straight line, because you can go anywhere you want now behind the baseline. So I want you to practice at home the arms you just worked on, and then I want you to work on the lift real quick. So we're going to work on that lift. I can demonstrate that. We're going to bring the ball over to my right shoulder. We have the bow and arrow that we just demonstrated, and we're just working on lifting the ball up towards the sky, not towards our body. We're not cupping our hand. We're just going to go up towards the sky so the ball floats and it's right out in front of my right shoulder or my right hip. Okay, a lot of the kids that are younger have smaller hands, so it's not as easy. We really want to open up that hand, that left, that non-dominating hand, the one that's controlling the ball. This is really important. It's a nice big hand, and it's almost like lifting the ball up on a shelf. So drop slightly. We're going to use our shoulder to lift. And go, left, lift, let it drop. Okay, so once you get those two things going with those arm swings and that lift, the third thing would be lift. Sequence is lift, step with that left foot. Here we go with the arm swing coming through, drag. So go ahead, Grace, you could pull down to my feet. Yeah, see, look at my feet. It's lift, okay, step, drag. We're dragging that back foot so it stays behind. So we have that nice torquey motion, that rotating motion with our core and our shoulders. Okay, then last would be serving. Actually working on serving. We're going to work on, we're not going to really demonstrate much today, but we're going to work on a floater server. It's like a knuckleball in baseball, where we're just going to work on contacting the ball with a big hand, either here or here, with a firm wrist. We want the middle of the ball, here's the ball, we want the middle of the ball in the middle of your hand where it's really firm and tight. That's where we want to make contact. So a lot of times I'll get the kids close to the wall first and I'll work on that first, just contacting. Sometimes the kids you'll see, Grace, can I have that ball? Sometimes you'll see the kids just slapping the ball to the ground. So firm hand, firm wrist, and doing this and getting the feel of the middle of the hand with the middle of the ball. So those are really good things to work on. Again, you're breaking it down and you're progressing. So I'm big a believer on breaking it down, keeping it simple, and then progressing. So that's why we kept things pretty simple today. The last thing we're gonna do is just watch Charlie serve a few balls, and then we're gonna open up for questions and answers. So great, let's turn that camera to Charlie over here now. And she can aim, turn to the wall, and she can, once again, you can use these targets and aim for something. So it gives these advanced players, you know, it gives them really a purpose and a goal to aim for those targets. Good. So lift, step, drag. Here we go. And you're always going to see that all the kids have different routines. Some of them bounce the ball once or twice. Some of them I see give the sign of the cross before they serve, which I love. So let them have their own routine. It's hard when they bounce the ball 20 times, though, because they're not going to have that much time when the whistle blows. Lift, step, drag. Like that piece of paper in a straight line. Awesome. Okay, we're going to try to switch this camera. I guess we're going to move over here a little bit, and I'm just going to take some questions and answers. If anybody has them, I'm happy to answer them. Thanks, guys. Okay. This just in case Lisa's texting me. Okay. I'm not seeing any questions come up here yet, but that could be a little glitch because we've been having glitches since we started this. Is there any questions? Do you have the? And while I'm waiting, I'm just sitting out here enjoying this beautiful, beautiful day. Oh, here we go. I see something coming up. Thanks for sharing. Okay, that's cute. Got a nice little message there. Thank you, Elizabeth. Sure. I have a great question there from Kayleanne. Awesome. Kayleanne, I wonder if you were the one that came to our camp last summer. Okay, she wants non-wall and partner drill suggestions. Absolutely. So you might be practicing in your home where you might not be able to use the wall. So a lot of times I will sit yoga style on the ground. And even if you're watching, TV or something during a commercial, yoga style, just working on that platform, okay, or on your knees, yoga style. Something I love doing at home, especially, is working on our spiking approach, our footwork. So for a right-handed person, your footwork will be a right, left, right, left. For a left-handed person, it would be the opposite. And we work on that footwork, and then we try to backswing and try to jump up as high as we can and touch the ceiling in the house. That really helps not only with your volleyball skills, but with your vertical jump and using the proper muscles that you're going to use to jump. Partner drills. Yeah, lots of them. Grace, you're with me now. Come on. Let's see. Can you see? I'm going to turn it and show you just a couple partner drills, okay? Real quick. Are we good? I hope you guys can see. All right, Grace. Ready? Can they see okay? All right. Awesome. How about this way? Does that work? Okay. So partner drills. Grace and I would start passing low first. Get down really low. This is low. We don't have much time. Low. Okay. And then we go a little higher. So we follow through a little bit higher. And now that's a nice angle. Higher. Good. How about passing and back passing? That's a great drill because this might happen in a game situation where you pass and you back pass. It's a little more advanced. Back pass, Grace, right here. You have to talk to your partner because you can't see that. So I love this drill because you really have to work together. Right here, Grace. That's an awesome one. Love those partner drills. Let's see. There's so many partner drills. Which one do you like? Anything else? Yeah, no, I know that there's more than that. We actually do a 2-ball one that's really fun where we're not going to demonstrate probably today. I don't know if I could do it, but you roll one ball while I'm rolling one ball. Grace is passing the next ball to me and I have to pass it back to her. Then she rolls the ball back to me. So I have a lot of good 2-ball drills as well that I could send you guys. So in the house, more things. Oh boy, I think back to when I was younger, we broke a lot of lights in our house, which I don't want you to do. But we did. We did a lot of things up against the wall in the basement, spiking approaches, sitting yoga style, going on your knees like I talked about, and then eventually I want you to use your hands too. So let's just say I'm at home working on just using your hands, baby sets, then following through. You might not be able to follow through high because of the ceiling, but those are things that I love doing. And even if you're in bed at night, you could just lay down in your bed, pretend like I'm laying down, and all you're going to work on is just working both hands. I love this drill because you're laying down and you're really working on trying to get both hands on the ball equally. A lot of times in setting, it's hard because usually, again, we go back to that one hand down, but a lot of people like to go with one hand above the other. So when you're setting from your back and you're laying down, we want to see that nice window here in the triangle. And we let the ball do the work. We let the ball come in, okay, and bring our wrists in. Okay, we're just going to work on those little baby sets and trying to get the ball equally distributed on both hands. And we're using our finger pads, not our tips, but our finger pads. And all 10 of them touch the ball. Just working on that little wrist motion. If you watch my hands, it looks like this. So my wrists become really wrinkled as the ball comes into my hands and then I release. I hope that's helpful. Okay. Let's see. I think I have another question coming up. I need a little help here, Grace. There's one coming up, but it got cut off. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh boy, what's good exercise is good for arm strength when kids start? That's a really good question. I've never looked at kids and thought they're just not strong enough. I really believe that a lot of them are struggling maybe with their serve because they don't have the proper mechanics. So I've had third graders that I've worked with for maybe a year or two that can get their serve over the net. And a lot of it's because they have the proper mechanics. And we talked a little bit about that today. There's a lot more information about serving. And again, I'll touch on more next time. But to be strong, you're growing into your bodies. And I think, God created your bodies a certain way for a reason, and it will develop over time. So even if you're not strong, which is very common when you're younger, That's okay. Eventually, you're going to get very strong. So I would highly suggest having the proper mechanics, and that is the footwork, the arm swing, the contact. And then once you establish those, you're going to become much more confident as a player. And practicing outside is going to build your confidence tremendously because you're getting better. Okay, I think we're good to go. Any other questions? I think we're good. Okay. So let's just say a closing prayer today. I know I spoke about Mary quite a bit, and the Mother of God and the healer and the person that we go to during our times of joy, our times of sorrow. I go to Mary a lot when maybe a child is sick because she understands. She gave birth to Christ. She said yes to giving birth to Christ. So I'm going to end it now with an Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. God bless all of you. Enjoy the beautiful day. And I look forward to doing this again really soon. Thanks.